Greetings, yo. Standing up, yeah. With E-Ford microphone, yeah. Egal. No, else. Oh, man. I was sick all week. It's Monday, and I hopefully go to work tomorrow, so I use my last few hours before I have to catch up with all the stuff that is laying down for a week at least for me. At work! But since everybody is now giving two shits about the new Bungie title Marathon, which is not even a new title, it's just a name of an old game from the late mid-90s from Bungie that they made for the Mac, and only a handful of people even remember. Now they're making an extraction shooter with the art style from Love, Death and Robots. Because we are so creatively bankrupt, we're just slapping texture packs on each other. And literally just copy and paste streaming shows into gameplay. And want money for it. In the world of free-to-play games, which this game clearly belongs, because most multiplayer games nowadays on that level are free-to-play. No, we don't even know how much money you will buy, but it will be a premium title by Bungie. And I was like, what? I mean, I've seen the trailer, and for what it is, it's stylized, it's ugly, it just looks like Apex Legend with unfinished assets. But hey, we have no proximity chat because players are toxic and we don't want to allow them to be toxic. Because we are the waving teacher. You are not allowed to be what you want to be. Don't have fun because we said so. By a group of wannabe progressives who have with the original Bungie team nothing in common. I mean, besides the ugliness of it, okay? And really, it's just a different art style, and they are always so bold. So there is nothing bold here. It's just weird for the sake of being weird. And yes, it's stylized. We have seen stuff like this now for 10 years. Those kind of things pop up constantly. Okay? Back in the days when stuff like Mirror's Edge, for example, came out. Oh, the city is in complete white and everything is ultra modern and very minimalistic in white and glass and mirrors. So yeah, this was a style. Here it's just texture packs, high resolutions and motion capturing for attention. You don't even see much gameplay in that. There is some gameplay, but it looks just like when it's in motion, it's just like this looks like Apex Legend on the lower settings. But that's the games that we nowadays get, apparently, especially from those who are mentally bankrupt. Okay, there is not much IQ in those smooth brains. They are also very slick and smooth and no sharp edges, you know. I mean, back in the days we read books like Game Design and Game Design 2. Okay, yeah, I was one of those guys. Man, or had art books like how to paint something that doesn't exist, where it's a book about creating imaginary landscapes and creatures and how to paint them. Those are books that you should read, actually, when you're into stuff like this in design and stuff. There are whole classes of design. What are you doing with what you want to achieve, you know? What is a design? Why do you need design? Why does something look how it's supposed to look? You know? Do you convey functionality? a direction. There's all those weird things. Yeah, I was in that stuff at one point, and they completely lost the plot. That's why we see all those retro shooters and boomer shooters nowadays. Oh, we're going just in pixel graphic because that's simple. Because that's how we can hide how we not want to think about creativity. And then you go back 15 years, 20 years in the past, and you find people that literally doing it on the fly. Just, this is my idea, and I built on that idea a whole universe around. I mean, we never will get people like H.R. Geiger, the man that created biological mechanisms, okay? For so many movies and so many controversies. People like that are very rare nowadays, who can think of a whole universe. Not in story, but in pictures. And we have seen what they did with the one of the more interesting comic books of our time, which was The Electric State, which was an eerie, post-apocalyptic, also very stylized and very... You see the pictures, but the pictures tell the story in your head. You see it, and the sheer design and the mood and everything that comes from it creates the story for yourself in your head. It's not like they are literally spouting out information. You see it. It's one of those immersive role-playing things that we had back in the days, where you get stuff in the mail. I mean, those things still exist, you know, when you have online and you get emails and audio clips and pictures and stuff, you know. Back in the days, we got little folders and little inlays with marketing or little posters, trinkets and stuff. And this is the storytelling. There is no story to be told. There is just stuff from the world, and the rest is up on you. Something like this should be more in the forefront, especially in gaming, where you get shown things and they don't need to tell you everything, because you can understand it from seeing it. They lost completely the plot on this one, okay? It's literally just, oh, it looks so cool, oh, it's so stylish, and that's also the biggest problem I had with Hard Space Shipbreakers, if you have ever played that game. Recommended if you like destruction games, okay? It's you playing someone in a junkyard. In space! Okay? You are someone who is shot into orbit with a huge debt on his ass, okay? In a recycling system that doesn't let you die because you're already dead, because you get killed by entering the orbit and just getting a recycled body over and over. Every time you die, you just pop out a new one. Okay? And your job is to break down ships, spaceships, and recycle them. Okay? Take them apart, put what's valuable in this part, what's to burn in this part, what is still reusable down into a brick downwards, which are basically electronics, generators, reactors and stuff. And in the beginning, as it was in early access, it was very minimalistic. It had so many features missing, and for some weird reason, okay? And it is from the same guys who now make Space Marines 2. They added a story. And this was the biggest shit, okay, they could have done. There was just you, the ship, and your shitty tools that you have to pay for with tokens because you're working for an evil corporation that literally wage slaves you from one day to the next. And the only information for the world that you get is from little shit that you pull out of the wreckages. Newspapers, little audio logs from corrupted data packs, okay? And all kinds of things. You can extract Small things like, oh, there is an advertising for vacation that you will never go. That is in there. Someone left an audio log with a almost suicide note, which is really sad. Then you get a little audio track from a family vacation, some pictures from Mars and different colonies. And this all paints a picture of the world. You're experiencing a story, not getting it told. And that's way more interesting. That people should way more lean into stuff like this. And instead of, oh, it's so artistic. No. The meticulous craftsmanship in those little things is way more interesting and can drag you out so much more, because you have this little piece of information, a little clip of a song with a picture, and you turn it around in your head and like, what could it be? What is this? While you're doing your menial task in a spaceship yard and defrag old junkyard properties, ripping panels off, cutting stuff in half, throwing with your tractor beam junk into the furnace or into the recycling bin. While you're hearing audio coming through distorted channels in your helmet, music, news flashes, little things in there, and this builds a way more interesting world. Not just, oh, we have style over substance. And since you have already stuff like Marathon, sorry, banks on, hey, it's an extraction shooter. You need atmosphere. And what this here lacks is atmosphere. It has style, shitty style while you're at it, okay? Those Bungie artists should be kicked to the moon, okay? Because they're not worth their money, okay? Artistry of storytelling is so lost now. And I hope we find it again, because I miss those times, okay? Not only for adventure or adventure-esque games, but in general, where the art style tells the story that doesn't need words nor anything else. You're just seeing it, and you get a grasp. Like when you have the whole Art Deco stuff, basically when we had Bioshock, and it was all Art Deco, art from the 60s, and everything conveyed to you how this world is. You take one look and you see what's happened. What also was great was the System Shock, where Bioshock derived. And I hate it when people say, "Oh, it's just a continuation," or it's a mentally successor. It's a successor to Bioshock. Bioshock is a successor to System Shock. So no, Bioshock is the retarded red-haired cousin that always shows up when nobody wants him to see. Okay, when nobody wants him. Okay. It's that little asshole that constantly trashes every party. Okay? Yes, it uses the idea and some of the feeling. But when you go back to the old System Shock stuff, especially System Shock 2, it had its own style. It was so different from what it used to be in terms of horror, because the ship is not dark most of the time. Okay? It's not a scary place. It's a well-lit, well-adjusted. Yes, there is funky shit all around, but that's because a literally cataclysmic event happened only maybe days before you woke up. But overall, the ship is in good condition. There is not really horrors upon horrors. The horror comes with the scenery. And there were also these little moments. You go into a room, and just by observing what lays around in the room, and it was simple back then because the technology wasn't there to make everything super detailed, but they used what they had to such a degree to tell small little stories with the absolute minimum. You see a guy, you see a text on the wall, and you see another guy hanging from the ceiling. And just by the whole situation, plus maybe a little data pad, or even not even that, because there's one where someone begs for forgiveness, and you see a gun on the ground, and the guy leaning hunched over a desk with a blood splatter on the other side. So, okay, somebody gave up here. Like, it's all those little moments that really brings this fucked up feeling inside of you to life, not because they tell you, but because they show you, and the rest is in your head. And people nowadays fail this task monumentally, okay? And this is sad, because everything is jump scare, loud jump scare. Oh, the lights go out and something scary crawls up on you. Oh, flashing lights. Oh, look, it's a dark shadow with beady eyes. Oh no. So it's always the same cheapest shit possible, because everything else would be work. Or would mean, hey, we have to be creative. We cannot have that. Creativity is hard. Creativity is work. We're not here to work. We're here to bullshit. And like most modern companies, we have to put our agenda in everything. That's why we have all this androgynous bullshit now in this Marathon trailer / short film made by the same guys who made Love, Death and Robots. And like, where did you get the idea? From the same guys who made our trailer. And everything gets so sterile and long-lasting, boring shit. Especially when you make a product that's supposed to keep people interested, in your product. They fail hard. They fail really hard. Okay? And, oh man. Not even starting with the whole Nintendo bullshit. I mean, we should actually start shaming Nintendo fans just as much as console fans in general. Because there is nothing here that is noteworthy or praiseworthy at this point, okay? Just saying. They lost the plot hard on every level, and I hope at least the indie scene will keep a little bit of entertainment up for the next couple of years. Bigger studios don't. On purpose. They don't want to be interesting. They don't want to be the guys who saved the day. Sad but true. But yeah. I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, yeah, I know. I had to get it because I'm still working on my shelf of shame for all that shit that is so lame. Yeah, I even have a almost finished theme song for it, but I have to need to build a shelf and find a place for said shelf. It needs to be really fucked up, you know? Just for things that literally are shame-worthy, okay? Either in it of itself, or for the community in the future, you know? There is a lot of that. And collecting it is probably worth it because you can physically point people to it, and that's always fun. Words can hurt. Reality hurts more. Not to say mind bullets. Okay, I should stop. I need to prepare to go to bed because, man, tomorrow will be a rough day. I hope there is not too much work left over. It always is. Hope dies at last, but no. Cheers and see you around. I definitely should make more videos. Maybe some play stuff, but there is some remake stuff out there that is not good. Definitely not good. But hey, cheers and see you around. Oh, coffee. Shouldn't drink it. I could go to sleep, but who cares? Where's the button? Oh, there it is. Work.